Tyrannosauroidea was a group of coelurosaur theropods that first evolved during the Middle Jurassic period. It included some of the most iconic and famous dinosaurs, such as the gigantic Tyrannosaurus rex, the apex predator of the end Cretaceous. However, the earliest members of this group were small feathered carnivores, who lived in the shadows of larger carnivores such as the North American Allosaurus or the Chinese Yangjiawanusaurus. Species from the late Jurassic such as Coelurus may have been close to the origin of Tyrannosauroidea. Tyrannosauroids started to diversify during the Early Cretaceous. Dilong, meaning emperor dragon, was an early form from China that lived 130 million years ago. It was small, only reaching 1.6 meters in length. Its skeleton was similar to more primitive coelurosaurs, but its skull had definite tyrannosauroid features, such as strongly bonded front bones and front teeth that had a characteristic D-shaped cross-section. The arms of early tyrannosauroids like Dilong were also much longer than those of the later tyrannosaurs, and it still had 3 fingers. The rocks that the fossil specimens of Dilong were discovered in also had unmistakable evidence that it had a covering of primitive feathers. The fossil remains of Dilong were discovered in 2004 in lake deposits in the Yixian Formation in Liaoning, China, which is famous for fossil specimens of many feathered bird-like dinosaurs. The fossils consisted of a semi-articulated skeleton and scattered bones of 3 other specimens. Another contemporaneous tyrannosauroid was Eotyrannus, or dawn tyrant, who lived in what is today England around 125 million years ago. It was larger than Dilong, measuring 4.5 meters in length. It also had typical tyrannosauroid features, such as a heavy skull, D-shaped front teeth and a characteristic arrangement of shoulder and limb bones. It also had longer hands compared with later tyrannosaurs, and its second finger was almost as long as its forearm. The fossil remains of Eotyrannus, consisting of a skeleton that was 40% complete, were discovered in hard mudstone on cliffs on the coast of the Isle of Wight in 1995. Early tyrannosauroids like Dilong and Eotyrannus were predators that would have preyed on smaller contemporary herbivorous dinosaurs such as the early ceratopsian Psittacosaurus from Asia or ornithopods such as the smaller Hypsilophodon or larger iguanodontids.